If you're deciding between a condo or a house in Seattle under $800,000, I've got a framework that makes this clearer than most people think. And there's a specific buyer profile where a condo is genuinely the better financial decision and one where it almost never is. What $800,000 actually gets you in each category. Let's start with the reality of what $800,000 buys you in each category right now in Seattle. A condo at $800,000, you're looking at somewhere between 800 and 1,200 square feet, usually in a newer or mid-age building. You might have one parking space in most of the desirable neighborhoods, possibly a small balcony or outdoor access, and in-unit laundry. Depending on the building, amenities like a gym or a rooftop deck will also be there. Capitol Hill, First Hill, South Lake Union, Queen Anne, these are where condos in this range tend to sit. Now, single family home at $800,000, you're looking at West Seattle, Columbia City, Shoreline, parts of Beacon Hill and Greenwood, typically 2 to 3 bedrooms, 1,200 to 1,600 square feet, a yard of some size, unless it's a townhome, likely a garage or at least one off-street parking spot, and probably a slightly bit older construction unless it's a new home that's been renovated where they're now selling condos on the lot. It might be a Craftsman era or post-war, but a lot of these newer ones are going to be modern or remodeled homes where the lot is getting subdivided so that it can be sold as separate condos. The single family home at $800,000 almost always gives you more square footage. The condo at $800,000 gives you a more central location and a lot more access to different things around you. Now, the HOA math, the number that can change everything. Here's the thing that changes the financial comparison entirely, and that a lot of buyers don't fully calculate until after they're in it. HOA fees. In Seattle, condo HOA dues range from about $350 or $400 to $1,000 a month or more, depending on the building. Let's say you're buying a condo, a $600 monthly HOA. At that rate, over 5 years, you've paid $36,000 in HOA fees on top of your mortgage. That money covers building maintenance, things like insurance and amenities, but you don't get it back. You don't build equity with that HOA fee. On the single family side, you're responsible for your own maintenance. A fully owned home with deferred maintenance can really cost you when you go to sell, but you have control. And you're not writing a $600 check every month to a building association. For buyers who are highly price sensitive or who are planning to hold for 5+ years, the HOA math almost always tips the calculation towards a single family home as a better investment. I'm curious, are you leaning towards a condo or a house right now? Drop it in the comments below because I really want to know. Lifestyle fit, the question that actually decides it. Look, the financial analysis matters, but most people's actual decision comes down to the lifestyle they get with the home. So let me be direct about which buyer actually thrives in each option. The condo buyer is someone who wants to be close to everything, and you really mean that. You want to go outside your door and see coffee, restaurants, your gym, transit options. You're not interested in yard maintenance. You maybe travel frequently or you work long hours and you want low maintenance living. You might have a dog, but you're not planting a garden or maybe doing something else that you might do in the yard. The single family buyer, on the other hand, is someone who needs outdoor space or wants it. You want to be able to hear yourself think. You may have or plan to have kids. You care about garage space and storage. You want to be able to paint a wall or renovate a bathroom without asking a building board for approval. So the house lifestyle. The buyers I've seen get this wrong are the ones who buy the condo because of the location and realize 6 months in that they're paying for the ability to be close to everything and they don't actually use it. Or the ones who buy the house and realize they hate yard maintenance and they're never home anyway. So be honest about how you actually live and not how you imagine you'll live once you get in the home. Let's talk about appreciation and long-term value. On long-term value, single family land in Seattle has historically been a stronger appreciating asset than condo units in the same neighborhood. And the reason for that is because the land underneath a single family home has that scarcity value. There's a finite amount of it. Condo units can always be added. Developers can build more floors, it goes up higher. And in a market where new condo inventory enters, existing units face more competition. That doesn't mean condos don't appreciate at all. They still do, but over a 7 to 10 year holding period, the single family track record in Seattle neighborhoods is generally stronger. The exception might be a very well located, limited supply condo building in a desirable desirable urban neighborhood, think something like Capitol Hill, but very historic or well-built buildings, or maybe waterfront adjacent properties where you don't have as much competition, those can often hold and grow value exceptionally well. I also saw this right before the pandemic where new buildings that were not a commodity yet held their value and even appreciated really quickly. Let me know if you'd want me to do a deep dive on specific Seattle buildings that have the strongest condo resale track records. I have some thoughts on that. You asked for my honest take, so here it is. For a buyer who's planning to stay in Seattle for 5 or more years, has kids or plans to, and wants to build real equity, I push towards single family almost every single time. The HOA math, the appreciation trajectory, and the lifestyle flexibility favor it. But for a buyer who's maybe single, childless, travels constantly, genuinely wants to be able to walk to work, and plans to stay 3 to 4 years before potentially moving, the right condo in the right building makes a lot of sense. Just run the full monthly HOA cost, including what you're going to be paying to that association before you fall in love with the actual price. And for anyone in between these two decisions, let's actually do the math together for your specific situation, because the answer changes based on the property and based on your circumstances. If you're deciding between a condo and a house in the next 3 months, the most useful thing you can do this week is get 3 condos and 3 houses in your price range in front of you and compare the full monthly costs side by side, including that HOA fee, not just the purchase price. 30 days out from making a decision, make sure you factored in the HOA reserve study for any condo you're serious about. That document tells you the financial health the entire building has before you commit. And if you're 90 days out, use this time to visit both property types in your target neighborhoods on a weekday, not a weekend, and experience the difference of what it would feel like living in each. If you're trying to figure out which type of property makes sense for your situation in Seattle, your budget, your timeline, your lifestyle, I help buyers work through exactly this. My contact information is below, and you can schedule a quick intro call with me and we'll go through it. And if you've got a specific Seattle neighborhood in mind, West Seattle, Capitol Hill, Columbia City, the next thing you should watch is this playlist, because the condo versus house math looks different in each one, and I've broken down the neighborhoods in detail for you.